Hello YouTube, how's it going? So doing an end of year video, so end of the season. Thought I'd do a wrap up, sort of state of the nation. What were my goals? Did I meet my goals? Plans for the off season. Hopefully your season went well. If you had any goals, I hope you sort of got to them or you made some progress. That's really what all these videos are. They're a diary. If there's something here that can help somebody, that's great. So let's get started. So goals. In my earlier videos, I think at the beginning of the season, my goals were sort of like play some tournaments. What can I glean off of YouTube to help me with my game? And if I work on short game conditioning in conjunction with ball striking and technique, but more focusing on that, can I lower my scores? So let's start with the last one. Yes. So I started the season at like a 4.5 or something. I hadn't played for about 10 years. Got a cap with a couple scores in by, off season. So I started around 4. And now I'm at a 1.4 or something. So how did I do that? Well, I went and played a lot of rounds on the yellow course at Bethpage, on the small 6,200 yards, and just practiced short game and wedges there, basically all year. Got my drive. There's not a driver. We have a range out there, and it's no drivers. So again, just going to the short course, playing twilights, hitting 5 drivers a hole, and then practicing lots of wedges, just dropping shots from 100 yards, going around the green, hitting little wedges, getting tighter with that. So yeah, it helped. I started shooting well. I got a couple under par or close to under par, tracking to be under par rounds, which sort of became my focus. It became like, could I just break like 75 all season? And then it became like, let's try to play under par. So yeah, I got there. So that, I think it just speaks to the amount of progress someone can make when you just focus on that stuff. Sure, we want to hit the ball well, and we want to be consistent, and we want to, make our misses more manageable. But a lot of it's course management and having a short game that can get you back in it. So if you miss a drive, chipping out, playing smart. The only time I didn't break par, I was 2 under on the 9th hole for not. Unfortunately, I was only able to start to get 9 holes in. I was 2 under standing on the 9th hole. I pulled the drive, and instead of just chipping out and following my advice, I took a hero shot and ended up making double. So there you go. If I would have just chipped out, I could have even made par. It was a super easy par 4. So there you go. Now gleaning things off of YouTube to help my swing. Yes, I got a lot of good information. So between videotaping my swing, sort of analyzing it, looking at stuff on YouTube, then taking a lesson. I did take a lesson, which was great. But just looking through what my misses are, trying to do a bit of self-help. Now there's a lot of information out there. But I like Alex Elliott Golf. I ended up going to his stuff a lot. The Art of Simple Golf. Just very, looking at for what players I like that I mentioned earlier. If they do clinics, so there's the Ernie Els clinic. There's also I've gone blank. It'll come to me. So there's a lot of stuff on YouTube that you can go through. Oh, the recent Mike Malaska thing that he did on Be Better Golf. It's great. Like, he talks about getting the club outside his move or whatever, but really all he's saying is just don't get the club stuck. And you're not trying to hold angles. There's a great video of Brooks Koepka that the PGA just posted. I mean, the guy's like a linebacker. But he's getting into the ball, and he's not like this classic, lag, all this lag stuff. The ball doesn't react to lag anymore. Like, sure, you want to compress the ball, but you're trying to. It's almost like the swing is different. Like he's into the impact zone, he's already released, and he's full impact, full release. He's almost like Jack, like right after impact, you know. So trying to hold angles and blah 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 blah, like the angles would be there as a result of good moves through the ball. I sort of feel that, you know. If you're trying to hold things and you're making those, and you're not thinking about powering through the ball, and you're not thinking about good fundamentals at address and good fundamentals off the ball, like you're just setting yourself up. Holding an angle won't matter because the angle's going to be probably wrong anyways. It's going to be enhancing any problem that you might have had because you haven't addressed your fundamentals. Your grip might be incorrect. Your takeaway from the ball might be incorrect. Your positions at address might be incorrect, which just goes back to my lesson. So my lesson has some fundamental position issues at address, which I'm trying to address. So I'll put some video of my latest swing. I took a bunch of video. And then the first goal was playing tournaments. So yeah, I didn't get to play in any tournaments. That wasn't a result of not trying. There was some scheduling things and some money issues. You know, they're expensive. But I just joined the wrong golf association, and I thought it would get me into a whole bunch of things, and it didn't. So now I know that. So next year I'll put my handicap in where I know it'll get me into the optimal amount of tournaments. There are some off-season events that I could fly down to Florida to play. Actually, like I live close to JFK, and JetBlue flies to Orlando and Daytona Beach. And there's, I need you know, and it's like $250 return. So I might just do that, do an Airbnb maybe in December and off season. So what else am I going to do in the off season? Well, I'm going to continue my putting like I did last year. Continue my workouts. I bought the Super Speed golf system sticks, so I'm going to make a separate set of videos about them because I think there's probably 40,000 YouTube videos where the people get it and they're like, yeah, we're gonna do the super speed, and they never follow up whether they got any results. So I'm tracking my results. I've only done it twice, but I'll make a whole separate. I've got a spreadsheet. I'll make a 3-month sort of video. Let's say after 3 months and see where I'm at with it. Forgive me if I'm not looking at the camera. I'm just getting used to this thing here. So yeah, there's where we are. I mean, I think 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as they say, as the song says. So, you know, obviously the next goal is, now that I'm going to turn 50 in a month, or less than a month, I want to start trying to take this stuff to competition. Can I do that? I don't know. That's a big ask. So, but I figured out a place to play. I figured out a range. I figured out a good teacher, Peter Stern, to check in with if I need a checkup. I've got good resources on YouTube. I'm doing this without a car. So that's the problem. I don't have a car. I live in New York. So Sunday, you know, but there's some really good players that do this without cars. There was a guy playing out at Bethpage. He got into the US Mid-Am a couple times. He's subwaying. He's schlepping it out on the train just like me. So there's no excuse. I mean, it can be done. It's not easy, but it can be done. And I'm lucky I live close to a big airport. So what I'll do is I'll just start doing videos back inside and, you know, check-ins. There wasn't a lot of golf vlog videos because I was out, instead of trying to take a video, I was out trying to play golf. So I just found that you can't get any better when you're schlepping around cameras. And I mean, I took some swings, but doing a whole round, it was just too distracting. So, I mean, every time I'm on the course, I'm trying to reestablish habits. I'm trying to, you know, create good habits. I'm trying to ingrain good habits. Every time I'm over the ball. And that ends up doing a lot. So when you're messing around with a camera, you're not doing that. You're too busy. That's what I think anyway. So yeah, every time you're on, and mental stuff. So I met Bob Rotella this summer, just at the U.S. Open. I was able to say hello to him, but it was great. I mean, I love his stuff. Whoever of that stuff you can read and check in and try to get it into your game, I think it's helpful. It is another thing to practice, though, so you have to practice it. You have to have it in your thinking. The biggest thing that helped me also was having a routine coming up to the ball of assessing the lie first before you pull a club. Assess the lie. Is it a good lie? Is it a bad lie? Am I just a flyer? Am I up, down, down? Then get your yardage. Then pull your club. Because when you pull a club and you go and you start thinking about the lie, you're like, well, you don't have enough club because the lie sucks, or you've got too much club to get a flyer. I just feel psychologically you're not committed to that second club. You're still committed to your first club. The first thing you pull is going to most likely be the right club. Sure, there's times when you have to reassess, reset, and do it all over again. But if you do that, that's going to help. I also bought a whole bunch of new clubs. So the bag is pretty different. So I'm going to do a dedicated what's in the bag for the end of the year. I've moved over to Strixon irons, like older ones, the 7-4 series. Sorry, the 4-5 series. So the 7-4-5 and some 9-4-5. It's just a mix, sort of a bastardized bag. I finally have shafts for all my hybrids. Still have the Cobra hybrids, but and I have an M2 driver now, 2007, a tour issue head, which I got super cheap. And the shaft, I built it up with the shaft I got from Accra. So Ken Thompson at Accra, you're the man. Also moving over to the DG 120 shafts. I was messing around with the KBS 120. I like them, but I'm just so used to DG feel. And then they brought out the 120, and I love them. They're amazing. So I'll just go through an equipment thing. So I'll throw some video up here. I also have a new putter. I got an old Ping. I always felt comfortable with the B60, so I'm gonna mess around with that a bit. I was putting. Putting became a strength this year because I worked on my putting a lot. Again, back to my practicing the short game. Yeah, my putts, it used to be a liability, and now it's saving me a lot more than it's harming me. So there we go. So yeah, 1 year in, or 1 season in, feel like I've got a lot of work done. So goals will be set in the spring for next year. I'm just gonna see if I can get out and hit range balls. I'll go back to Chelsea Piers, which is an indoor range here in New York City that you can hit balls at. It's super expensive, but at least I can hit balls and it's heated. And then I'll work with the super speed thing, and I'll just keep doing my stretches, and we'll check in. And there we are. I also have an Instagram page I've been throwing up, so there's a link on something. Maybe I'll put a link below if you want to follow along. I've just been putting the same stuff that I have here. As always, let me know if there's anything you'd like me to review or talk about. I want to be careful that I don't give advice on this because I don't want to lose my amateur status. Like that guy, Be Better Golf guy did. Apparently lost his amateur status. Maybe he was giving lessons or something, but yeah, YouTube's not that important. I don't want to have to play pro events if I don't have to. So, but I will sign up for them now as an amateur. I have a new phone too, so I can finally start taking videos and not run out of space. Lots of good stuff. All right, guys. So, as always, thank you for checking in. Sorry if I'm not looking at the thing. Yeah, we'll just keep going through the fall and the winter up here in the Northeast. Okay. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.
So here we are. I thought I would just do my infamous voiceover. So just an example of going out on the course. Here I am on the second hole on the red course at Bethpage, and just hitting drivers at twilight. Literally just going out and practicing on the course. So I hit one here. I think I hit 4 in total. Just teeing them up and picking a target, trying to make the target. Sure, I've got swing thoughts going on. I went and did my routine and sort of stopped the camera so I saved some spaces around 6 o'clock. There's no one out there, so just playing holes, looping around holes and just hitting where I can hit a driver. Here I have to hit a second hole you have to hit a draw. Then here I am now on the I took some video on the third hole. This is the second hole on Bethpage Black. So yeah, again, I hit just, late in the day because it's windy as heck, hit 4 drivers. So, you know, sort of picking my target at that last tree out across the fairway, right dead center of the frame, and just looking at what I'm doing. Still some a little bendy in my knees. So I just go and look at these, but these are all good swings except for the third one. I thought someone was coming up behind me and I sort of got distracted. They weren't, just another green. Um, Hit a good drive here. Trying to just get through the ball. You know, Take a look at it. Did I hit my target? And then this one, yeah, I just got distracted. So you know, shouldn't get distracted, but I didn't want to hold anybody up if they were coming behind me as well. So, because the second hole is sort of you go across this road and you can't really see the green behind you if someone's coming up behind you. So yeah, just this one goes straight left. So I'll have to look at see why what I did. I think I just my body stopped. Yeah, I think my body just stopped there. But let's go look at it. Um, yeah. But then I regrouped and this last swing was really good and I pounded it out there. It was like 20 yards by my other 2 drives, which were not bad in themselves. So, you know, um, so this is a good swing. So just yeah, here's how I'm practicing on the course. If you're interested, just teeing up 4 balls, then play the first one, obviously. So I just wanted to show you the second shot coming in here on the second hole to give you an idea of just the type of elevations. If you're going to be going up here to the northeast to see the PGA in the spring and you're watching on TV, this is just how the type of angles are. You can see the ball is almost at my knees. This is about I'm just trying to hit a little punchy sort of 8-iron up there. There's a huge bunker right above that hill. Then the green there's a flag which you can't see, and you'll see that I just fall off the almost the slope after the end of the ball. So there you go. Yeah, it's really hard to So there's the type of angles that they talk about TV flattening the course. I wanted to just give you an idea, and I hit it about 20 yards over the green because I nailed it. So I just thought I'd throw some pictures of Bethpage Black if you haven't seen it. This is the second hole we just played, looking down from the third tee, so you can see the elevation there. The green is up on top of this sort of ridge, to the right of the screen, let's say. And you sort of come back and you play down the third hole, which is a really beautiful par 3. But yeah, you can start to get a sense of the elevation changes here. I think that's about 40 feet. And that's not even one of the big elevation changes on the course. So, and now you come off and walk over to the third green, which is a beautiful par 3. That's it's almost like an angled green. It's a runoff on the back, 2 huge bunkers at the front. This is from sort of the in between the whites and the blues, and there's the U.S. Open tees are at the back. So I think it plays about 230, which is really hard. If it's downwind, that green just doesn't hold. So really challenging. Here's the iconic 4th hole, which is a par 5 on the card. It's so short, but if you play it as a 3-shotter, it's a pretty easy hole. You just play to the right of the bunkers, and it rolls down into that sort of left area. Off the whites, you can just hit a 3-wood up there. The driver, this is at the top tee, so they're pounding drivers out there. Then you're hitting up into like the second to the right lip of the bunker. You're hitting a 6-iron to the plateau. Hit it to about 75 yards, and you flip, sandwich over the green, over the bunkers there guarding the green. If you try to play as a 2-shotter, you're sort of dying. You're going to die. Here's the 5th hole. So after hitting these draws, then you got to hit a power fade out there. The green is up off to the left. If you look straight down, you see some bunkers. That's the green up tucked into the left-hand side. So it's like you hit a fade down over basically that walking path out over the edge of the bunkers. About 260 to fly those. Maybe no, yeah, from the backs it's like 260. From the whites, probably about 240. then here's at the top of the hill on the 6th, going into the 6th green. Again, a really hard green to hold. So there we are. Just if you sort of a little nice treat if you've been following along, some holes on Bethpage. Yeah, it's just such a great place to play. It's going to be great to see the PGA up there. And yeah, so this is sort of it for the season. I'll do a check-in with you know, what I'm going to be doing in the off season. Like I say, I'll do a what's in the bag. If you want anything you want me to do, you know, talk about anything, just put it in the comments. I hope you've enjoyed the videos. I hope maybe there's been something helpful. I hope these videos, these shots of Bethpage Black have been helpful if you're going to come up to the PGA, or if you get a chance to play it. You know, it's there's a lot of you know, built-in sort of optical illusions. So get a get a caddy. Actually, the caddy sucks. Just don't take off more than you can shoot for the first round, anyway. So there you go. I hope you had a great season. I'll check in for some more videos with my progress on the Super Speed Golf system. So thanks again, and see you in the next video.